Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about arbitration and what players, in my opinion, are of note who are going to arbitration, and what players avoided arbitration. So, before I get into it, what is arbitration? Arbitration is when a team and a player have a dispute over what a player is worth. And so they go to an arbitrator who will decide what the player is worth. And depending if the player or the team takes to arbitration, the opposite party will decide the term. So yeah, and the term can only be 1 to 2 years, but if a player has 1 year until they're a unrestricted free agent, then the term can only be 1 year. So without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to be talking about the players who have hearings scheduled and that are of note, in my opinion. Nick Robertson, whose hearing is on August 3rd. He's with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and he almost went to arbitration last year, last summer. And so, yeah, he's pretty used to the Maple Leafs, in his opinion, undervaluing who or what player he is. So he will be going to arbitration on August 3rd. And one thing to note is that a player can only go to arbitration once in their career. So, yeah, this is the second time that there's been threat of arbitration, and it's looking like that may happen. And yeah, next, Connor Timmins of the Buffalo Sabres. His hearing is on August 2nd. The reason why he's of note to me is because he was in the Maple Leaf system, and anyone who's in the Montreal Canadiens, Vancouver Canucks, or Toronto Maple Leaf system, I know quite a bit about, so that's why they are of note to me. So yeah, he's going to arbitration with Buffalo. I don't think he has a track record of going to arbitration, but I digress. Next, Jaden Struble, who is part of the Montreal Canadiens. His hearing is on August 3rd, and so yeah, Jaden Struble, he's an okay defenseman. He's been in and out of the Canadiens lineup. That's the same thing with Nick Robertson. So, in and out of the lineup, young. They think that they're worth more than the team thinks that they're worth. So, yeah, he's going to arbitration. Now, going into the avoided arbitrations for the players who elected to go there. So a team can bring a player to arbitration, or a player can bring a team to arbitration. So these are the ones that the players are the ones who wanted to go to arbitration and have since avoided that. So first off, Kaapo Kakko of the Seattle Kraken. He signed a 3-year by $4.525 million contract. And what you'll see for like the first two, so this one and the next one I'm going to talk about, is that these are kind of like prove it deals a little bit. So show us what you're worth, and then we may give you a longer contract. So, good on Kaapo Kakko for signing with Seattle. He was traded to Seattle this past season from the Rangers, and when he was traded, as soon as he played his first few games with Seattle, you could tell that he was better than what he was in the Rangers system. The Rangers in the last years have been kind of futile at developing players. So when a player gets into a system that is very focused on development, that stuff will happen. So good for Capo Caco for getting a deal done. Next, Morgan Barron of the Winnipeg Jets. He signed a 2-year by $3.7 million contract. I've talked about a few of these contracts already, but I just thought that they were of note to bring up again because they were going to go to arbitration. And so, yeah, good for Morgan Barron for getting a pretty good lump sum of money. Next, also with the Winnipeg Jets, Gabe Vilardi, a 6-year by $7.5 million contract. I talked about this one recently, so if you want my opinions on it, I will link to the video that I talked about his contract somewhere down below or up there, whatever. So, good for Gabe Vilardi. Then Lucas Dostal of Anaheim. I also talked about his contract and stuff, and once again I will leave a link to the video that I did talk about that in. So that was a 5-year $6.5 million contract. So yeah, Winnipeg, Anaheim has their goaltender of the future. And now let's get into the team elected arbitrations that were avoided. Bowen Byram, he was a little bit iffy because he wants to be a number one guy. And when you're in a Buffalo system that has Rasmus Dahlin and Owen Power, tad bit difficult to become the number one guy. So he signed a contract that doesn't have the term with it. And so yeah, he will be, if he in the next few years shows that he's good enough to be a number one guy, he may get traded. So yeah. Then Jack McBain with Utah. I don't know much about him, to be honest, but good for Utah and him to get the contract done without having to go to arbitration. So those are the players. Those are all the situations that they're in or were in. So yeah, let me know what you think of all of these contracts and the guys who are awaiting contracts. Do you think that they are being unreasonable, or do you think that the team is being unreasonable? So let me know down in the comments, and I will see you, or also like and subscribe, please. So yeah, I will see you in the next one.